Sir, how we doing?
Blessed as always. How about yourself?
I'm great. I am great. I know. Look, it's April. Let's just get up late. You've had a lot of physical challenges, obviously. You've expressed some optimism. How you feeling?
I'm feeling better. Feeling a whole lot better than what I did any point of the year last year. Moving around a whole lot better. I got more power in the calf. Still not where I want to be. Still taking it one day at a time, one step at a time, and just maintaining the focus and just try to get 1% better each day.
It's a process, but is the progress? It sounds like the progress is different than it was last year.
Yeah. Last year when I came in, I came in healthy, and then first day of OTAs, went out, ran around, with the guys, and then, after that day, I felt nothing in my left leg. So, throughout that whole year, just trying to figure out what's going on. But now I'm coming in, I'm feeling way more confident, way more power, way more, explosive, and just, feeling even when I walk now. So, I'm very optimistic of, what the future holds.
Shaq, you've always been really honest about how much you love football. Mm-hmm. And this was a chaotic season last year, and you weren't on the field, and that had to just crush you. When you got some time away, what did you think about 2022 for this team and for you, and just how much different it had to feel than years past?
Last year was by far one of the most, hardest years of my life. Just fighting through an injury, and it was tough. Mentally, it was really really bad. And then seeing the guys out there, fighting for a win each Sunday, and me standing on the sideline. Too many times, after the game, I'm in the locker room, just boo-hooing, man. I feel like I let the team down, not being out there, to help them win. And, I felt, somewhat embarrassed at, just coming in each day, injured, not getting better. So I felt like, I didn't want to be around for a while. It was hard. It was hard, still hard. Like I said, I'm nowhere near where I want to be, and just that mental toll that it took on me to try to figure this thing out. And, this game is hard. This game is very demanding, mentally, physically, and emotionally. And, that's what I signed up for. And, I'm just going to continue to work to be the best version of myself and get back. Last year I felt like I was a cheerleader and, try to be a coach at some point and try to give the guys some cues on, what I see to try to stay close to the game. But, it sucked. It still sucked, standing on that sideline.
You never doubted yourself. Came out of South Carolina State. We've talked about that. But last year when you couldn't play and you couldn't figure this thing out with the calf, were there moments that were just like, will I be 53?
There's no question. Every day I think about that. I see myself on the tape. In practice, I looked slow. In the game, I looked slow. And a lot of people thought I was, selfish for, shutting it down, having the surgery. But I think the only thing selfishly that I did last year was actually go out there and try to play. And, I felt like I hurt the team last year whenever I was on the field. And, it sucks to kind of, have to sit back and watch that and sit back and, see the bad plays and knowing it's not you. And, of course, man, there's been so many times where I'm thinking, will I ever be back to 5'3"? Will I ever be back to the maniac? So there's been a lot of times where I have to watch the film of my old self and, find that, reassurance of who I am and never lose sight of, who I was and, who I still can become. And it's hard. It's hard day in and day out to have 365 days where you can't do a calf raise. So it sucks. It sucks, but, it comes with it, so it is what it is.
Shaq, is it a blessing? Is it a blessing that last year when you were coming back, you sort of had the urgency of the season and get back and play? Now you don't have that. You can sort of take your time and do it the right way?
I'm not going to say that it's still not an urgency. It's OTAs, man. You're
Games are in September.
But all right, so you work with a bunch of guys, and they see you see them doing all the work. You think it's cool to be standing on the sideline while they're working? It sucks. It sucks not being out there with them and competing day in and day out. It's just somewhat embarrassing. So I still think it's still some, urgency of getting back, because there's nothing like going to war or, I'm not war, I'm going to say basic training. with your guys to get ready for war. And, you standing on the sideline not being able to do anything to help them or show them how hard of a leader you are or how hard of a worker you are. Now they're just, you got to trust that they know who you once were and hopefully that they don't, forget that. Last year was hard, man. You find out who truly was with you and, who saw you for what I did for them. And, it was a tough thing. So, I'm just ready to get back out there with the guys.
Shaq, how much do you internalize and do you ever ask yourself? I know you lean on, you feed off of the doubt and people saying you can't do something. But is there a point where you have to let go of some of that to remind yourself and maybe kind of get that tunnel vision and get back to who you are?
Yes and no. Because I feel like if you let it all go, you forget why you do it. You know what I mean? I just feel like for me, it's more so, man, I've been doubting my whole life. And I've been proving you guys wrong for a long time. And that's just been my mentality. And so now it's the same thing because, I see the things where, they say that I won't be back to myself. I sat out for nothing and stuff like that. So now it's back to day one of proving who I am. So I don't think that I shy away from it. I don't think that, I throw it to the back burner. I just feel like I continue to use that as a reason of why I wake up in the morning at 4:30 in the morning to get up. Is to prove everybody wrong because for myself, I know who I am. I believe that I am who I am, and I just got to go out and continue to prove that because there's a lot of people who don't think that I am who I am.
Shaq, did retirement ever cross your
No, nah, not yet. Nah, I know you. I remember. I think it was year 3 when I had a concussion. That question came up and, kind of got blown out of proportion with my answer. So I'm going to continue to say, no, that never came and crossed my mind. Good try.
Larry said he worked out with you in the offseason. What did it mean to, just have him around? I know you all been close for so long, but just he was saying, I'm working on my thing. I'm seeing him, get better every day. Just kind of have that time to grow together.
Yeah, it was good, especially, we came in together and, seeing the success that he had on the field this year. I was so, excited for him. And, for me to be out of the way for a while and not be with my teammates, for him to come to Tampa and work out together, it felt like I was back with the guys. I saw how hard he was working. He was working on his craft, working on mine. We got to talk a lot of football, talk about family and all that good stuff. So it was good to see, how hard he was working. It pushed me to, to work even harder and become, a better player because, each year he's stepped up to each challenge. So to see him do that, I got to make sure that, I can continue to improve, be the best guy that I can be, and hopefully be, a great duo at linebackers.
Shaq, have you been cleared to do something on the field, whatever you feel like you can do?
I wouldn't say, clear. That question came up last year when someone asked the question about me being cleared by, my physician, our team doctors for me to go play. That wasn't, necessary, the thing. It was more so, how good was I moving, on the field, stuff like that. So, I'm clear to do everything my body is allowing me to do. So as long as, I got the guys with the training staff, my team, everybody's working together and making sure that I'm not pushing it because they know if they give me an inch, I'll take a mile. I just want to, it'd be amazing if I, could be 100% tomorrow. And that's my goal. And so I'm not going to say that I'm all the way cleared because, I'm not doing too much running right now. So I got to continue to work and work for that.
One more here.
Because of the injuries that you've endured and maybe the timing of when those setbacks have happened, from what you've learned, how do you approach this time of year maybe differently than you have in seasons past?
I think this year is more so of truly knowing the game now of the approach. I felt like a lot of times it was coming back and, wanted to prove on the field of who I am. But this year, knowing that I didn't come in healthy, knowing that I'm not healthy, is more so the mental part of it, of the game and learning it and being able to, teach the young guys about the defense. Because, standing on the sideline last year, opened my eyes up a lot. I got to see a lot of things from a point of view that I never thought I would see, picking up tendencies and picking up things from, the iPad. So now it's just, elevating the mental part of the game for me.